Hello and welcome to everyone. Today our guest is MMA fighter Chris Duncan. Chris, can you please say something about yourself, something for the introduction so we can continue with the interview? And thank you for joining.
Hi, my name's Chris Duncan. I'm 27 and I'm from Scotland, and I currently fight under the promotion Bellator. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we have some good fight news. Can't say anything yet, but hopefully something pops up in the next couple of weeks, and I can tell everybody what's happening.
Thank you so much for joining. When did you start your MMA run?
I started my MMA career probably about the age of 21. So that was 2014. I had my first MMA fight as an amateur. And then so on and so forth. And then I've been professional for 2 years now.
Can we discuss your nickname?
The problem?
Yeah, why the problem?
Yeah.
This is one of the weirdest nicknames I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, throughout my pro career and my amateur career, I had a lot of bother and a lot of problems trying to get myself matched because I always get, people say they want to fight me, and then when it comes to actually fighting me, they don't want to because they know they're going to get knocked out. So my manager gave me the nickname The Problem, and it just stuck. And it's always the same, you know. Probably 90% of the fights I've had have been pullouts. So every time I've had a fight structured in, some guys pulled out. So that's the nickname, The Problem.
Can you elaborate tattoos?
Sorry?
Can you elaborate tattoos? Tattoos, you know, tattoos.
Oh, my tattoos. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, the one on my chest is for my mother. My mother passed away in 2014 when I had my first MMA fight. So this tattoo here symbolises my mum and some things that happened throughout my life. And this all down my arm is just a warrior's tattoo. And I also have a tattoo in a Japanese writing on my back that says "Live by the sword, die by the sword." So pretty much every tattoo is to do with fighting.
Yeah, so warrior style means the warrior way, warrior path, something like that, or...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So things like the land of the rising sun and stuff like that, you know, with samurai warriors and the way of the warrior. Yeah, I like that sort of stuff.
I had one fighter, he is from the country next to me, from Slovenia, Lemi Krušić, he has similar tattoo like you, that's why I asked you.
Yeah. It seems to be quite a popular thing with fighters and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Alright, how would you describe your fighting style? I would say you're well versed everywhere. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I feel I'm very well, very well put together. I feel I can do everything, but I structure my fighting round trying to get the finish and trying knocking people out. I don't think I've went to a decision since like 2016. So I try and finish my opponents because that's what people want to see. They don't want to see people lying on top of each other, getting tired and stuff like that. So I really push my fighting style to knock out and try and finish the fight.
So we can say knockout artist or...
Definitely.
Great. Do you have your favorite strike? I mean, every knockout artist has one. For example, Francis Ngannou has right hook. Everybody knows it.
Yeah. Mine's is a head kick.
Head kick.
Yeah, I love a head kick. I've only knocked one person out with a head kick in a fight, but I knock a lot of people out in the gym with a head kick. So maybe the next one I'll get another head kick.
So which is your fundamental martial art, considering you love head kicks? Is it maybe Taekwondo, kickboxing, Muay Thai?
I used to do a thing called K1 kickboxing. So it's pretty much like Muay Thai, but without the clinch and the elbows. I really like that martial art because it's quite high pace and it's very, very exciting. And a lot of good fighters like Gokhan Saki and stuff like that come from there. It's such a well-versed and good to transfer over as well to MMA.
Yeah, Gokhan Saki was one of my favorite K1 fighters, so I absolutely know what are you talking about.
Yeah, it's so exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Who's coaching you at the moment?
My coach is Adam Stevenson. He's my head MMA coach, and we've been working together for nearly 2.5 years now.
Can you please discuss your first amateur fight? How did you feel heading into an amateur fight? Was it hard for you? Was it difficult?
Shitting my pants.
Oh,
So I was very scared. I actually, my first ever MMA fight at amateur, the day before, so the day of the weigh-ins, my mother passed away. So the day of the fight, obviously my mum had passed away, so there was a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear of losing, because also I just lost my mother as well. So um, that was the turning point for me to look after myself and think about myself more than going to a dead end job and stuff like that. You know, it was almost like a epiphany, if you like. So from there and from when my mother died, I really focused on and concentrated on myself.
Cody Stamen had a similar experience, if you followed. His brother passed away, but he chose to fight that night. I think you know the story, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So how did you battle everything out? It was emotionally very hard moment. Cody said that his brother wanted him to fight, and that was his decision, and that he had to follow. I assume it was something similar, or
Yes, very, very similar. There's my mum was a bit of a person to say, just get on with things and move forward and just keep fighting almost. And there was nothing I can do to change the situation. So I just carried on and fought, and I feel happy I've done it. And I never look back now, because it's now my career and it's now my full-time job. So it's a win-win for me.
yeah, such people can support you so much. I understand you. I mean,
Yeah.
I had similar experience. For example, a good friend of mine died of COVID, but she was always saying, no, 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 you must push, you mustn't stop your obligations, never stop. It was her
Yeah.
decision, and I kind of understand you how it goes. So, which was your toughest amateur foe?
Probably McKindy was a guy I fought on the SFC. I actually had food poisoning that day, and I still managed to fight, but I felt very weak. But that was probably my toughest fight physically, not because of the opponent, but definitely because of the situation of the food poisoning. I had sushi the night before. That's a no-go.
How did your professional debut go?
Oh, I loved it. I was probably That was the best I ever felt in the lead up to a fight. Everything went really well. I was in injury free, and my professional debut went just as I expected it, with a finish.
Excellent. So you continued your, let's say, stoppage streak. You stopped Stephen Moore. You stopped Niall Smith. So how did you extended your stopping streak? I mean, it's easy to win, okay, but it's not easy to stop everybody to TKO to KO. It's kind of hard, you know. So how did you continue your stopping streak?
I put all of my focus on the training. It was a saying over here: leave no stone left unturned. So you don't miss anything out. You always train hard, but you have to be smart in the same way. So train smart, and if you leave the gym feeling you could have done more, you'll have doubt in your mind. So I've never ever had any doubt in my mind about my training. So I always put 100% into it, and I just have faith in how fit I am and how strong I am leading up to the fight.
Your Bellator debut happened against Sam Slater. Was it a difficult one, considering Bellator is a different promotion? I mean, many people say Bellator is right away, right one step after UFC. So,
Yeah.
how hard it was? I mean, it's a second promotion in the world.
It was very hard. I actually had an injury prior to my debut in Bellator. I hurt my back doing deadlifts, so mentally again was quite difficult. And walking out to the Irish crowd, it was such a massive crowd, and I'd never been in front of a huge crowd like that before. So that was very demanding, physically and mentally, in the lead up to the fight. But I felt I dealt with it very, very well, and I felt right at home at Bellator.
So yeah, your next fight was against Leandro Souza, right?
Yep.
Considering your whole professional career, who was the most difficult opponent? Who gave you a really hard time?
Sam Slater. Sam Slater. He was very elusive, very technical, and it was one of the first fights I thought, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy is very skilled, so he would probably be the trickiest and highest skill set opponent that I had faced.
Are you pleased with your last Bellator fight at 240?
Yes, yeah,
You are?
definitely. I was very, very pleased with it. A lot of things I could have changed, but when you're in the moment and stuff like that, these things tend to just kind of unfold from themselves. But I would say that was probably my best performance yet.
Many people say it's very, very hard to fight when, for example, 10,000, 15,000 people are watching you. Do you have a problem with that, or it's normal, or you got used to it?
I didn't. As I walk to the cage, I have nothing in my mind other than my opponent. So it's almost like a mental barrier, you know. The preparation leading up to the fight sets me in for that, you know. I don't think about the crowd when I'm in there. I don't think about what's going on at home or anything like that. When I'm in the moment, I'm in the moment, and nothing can take my focus off my opponent.
How did you improve your stuff in takedowns game?
Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of wrestling.
Defensive or?
Yeah. Well, I practice. I do wrestling 3 times a week now, and I do it with my training partner Robert Whiteford. So we've been doing that for the last bloody 6 years now, or 5 years, whatever. And I've been always getting better and always pushing forward.
Yeah, it's awesome. I watched your both Bellator fights, and in the first, your takedown defense was worse. You probably noticed that.
Yeah. But there's always room for improvement, and sometimes you just make silly mistakes back and forth. But that's the fight game. Yeah, there's so many ways to win and lose in an MMA fight, so it's important you cover all areas and just keep moving forward.
Do you have some plans for the future? I mean, you said you are now trying to find a new fight, and
Yeah. Well, I think I have an aim and I have a date at the moment, but I'm not allowed to say anything at the moment. But
okay.
there's I'm looking to get another fight, and I'm just looking to knock him out again and make sure everybody's watching and they know I'm the most dangerous fighter in that division.
Well, I hope everybody's going to watch when this pandemic ends. Crowd will get back on its feet. Right now we fight without the crowd, and it's kind of difficult, you know. Would you like to add something to this interview?
No, that's everything, man, and thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I will post this tomorrow morning.
No problem, and just tag me in it and I'll share it for you.
No problem, I will. I just need to create a video. Tomorrow morning you check, I will send you VIG.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, have a great day.
You too, bye-bye.